What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had taken a COVID test, flu test, RSV, norovirus, or some other virus, and you had to take a test for it, I hope you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues and no long-term issues. It is time now for the Wednesday edition of the Virus Update for Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. This is where I do the virus update as needed, which lately there has been a lot of as needed days because things are getting very busy with these viruses. I give you all the latest news and data. Today we're going to talk about a whole slew of different viruses. As you see, the first one being H5N1. So without wasting any more time, if you're new here, subscribe down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let's try for over 200 like button hits today. The more of those we get, the more YouTube will push this throughout the algorithm. And we really need to make people aware of what is going on right now. I mean, things are not looking too good. Share these videos with anyone you know. Leave your comments down below. And remember to hit that notification bell. Alright, we have over 15 different news stories today. Yeah, I don't ever remember a virus update with that many different news stories. We have data to look at. We have a lot to get through. So let's get started. Starting off in California. Breaking news. This just happened. I was out earlier. I came back and said, oh, breaking news. California Governor Gavin Newsom declares state of emergency due to H5N1 bird flu. As you know, this situation has continuously gotten worse. There have been more human cases in California. California not being the only state with that. But California is the state in the United States that is getting hit the hardest with bird flu. Between the human cases, the poultry, the cattle, the milk situation, egg situation, things are not going well in California. And I think this is the right move. It needed to be done. We need to increase testing because I got a feeling we are missing cases. Here's some of those reasons why I think we're missing cases. Let me continue on to our next story. Wisconsin now, just in. And this literally was just in. They tweeted this at 3:26 p.m. Wisconsin reports its first case of H5N1 bird flu linked to poultry. Keyword, linked to poultry. In Louisiana, there's an update now. CDC confirms the first severe case of H5N1 bird flu in the U.S. The patient in Louisiana has been hospitalized with serious illness linked to sick birds. But then we come to Delaware, and this is where we do run into a not-so-good problem. A few more details about the suspected human case of H5 bird flu in Delaware. Remember yesterday we talked about this? Well, there are no known exposures to infected animals, no link to poultry or dairy facilities. Yeah, this is not good. This one is just someone was sick and they did some testing. Oh, it's bird flu that you have. Yeah, so we need to figure out real quickly what's going on here. Really poor timing for the H5N1 virus to really run rampant because, you know, it's the holidays. Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Three Kings, all these different holidays over the next couple of weeks. Not a good time because a lot of people are traveling. College students are getting ready to come home from college. People are getting ready to go visit family that they haven't seen in a while. All this travel right now, it is just not a good combination, and I got a feeling we're going to see things continue to rapidly evolve. All right, switching back to traditional flu over in Taiwan now. We're going to be jumping between the United States and other countries because it is a very busy news day. In Taiwan, they report 8 flu deaths in the past week. Just wanted to read a headline. Also want to read this to you. In Texas, the city of El Paso has announced its first flu-related death of the respiratory season, and this is just not any death. Unfortunately, it was a younger aged girl that was 13 years old with underlying health conditions, but it's never good to see anyone die young, especially a flu or any of these other viruses. In this case, it was a flu-related death. Already continuing on now, COVID is the topic in New Zealand. COVID-19 cases, we did not get to their update this week. We're getting to it now, and I promise at some point I will find something for Italy. Out of all this today, we do not have Italy. I actually forgot to look this afternoon. There's just so much going on. You'll see. COVID-19 cases, 1,402 new cases and 8 deaths have been reported in New Zealand. And of course, the same thing they always say. We don't know what the number is there in the ICU. I don't know why that is the case. And oh, I forgot to report this in the beginning. I forgot to switch this over. Another note about bird flu. Cases of bird flu found in 2 Alabama counties. This is in animals. This is not in human. This is in livestock animals. This is samples from the flocks were tested and confirmed positive at Alabama State Diagnostic Laboratory in Auburn. So this is not good whatsoever. Moving on to this now. Sugar Creek Elementary closed the rest of the week due to illness. This is in Alabama. The Limestone County School System, LCSS, says Sugar Creek Elementary will be closed for the rest of the week due to illnesses at the school. And I thought for sure they had a number. Here it is. Superintendent says there are around 170 students are sick, primarily with flu, he said. A large number of staff members are also sick. Well, guess what? That's probably about 170 families that have a real problem heading into the holidays. Not good whatsoever to see so many sick. I get it. Flu is seasonal, but, there's a lot of people sick right now. More than ever because you're adding COVID on top of this. All right, speaking of COVID, this virus, that virus, in Northeast Ohio, David Christopher, he always gives us updates from the hospital he works at. And here's what he is seeing at his hospital. Busiest Monday in the hospital since the summer COVID wave. Hospital full. Emergency department packed. COVID, flu A, RSV, strep. A number of rising, lots of pneumonia, stroke, cardiac patients, all kinds of different problems it sounds like he is seeing there. Wastewater showing SARS-CoV-2 rising fastest in the Midwest. That is true. Be safe out there, my friends, is what he says. Moving on now to this. In Singapore doctors see more patients with shingles over the past 2 years. Many patients who contracted COVID-19 went on to develop shingles. Weakened immune systems from the COVID-19 pandemic, the risk for shingles may remain elevated for up to 6 months after COVID infection. My friends, you do not want shingles. I had a neighbor who had shingles a few years ago, and it was really bad. I also seem to recall, and this may sound kind of strange, I'm pretty sure when I was in high school as a kid, there was a kid who had shingles. I just distinctly remember there being a letter sent home. Mind you, this is, what are we, in 2024? This is going back about 16 years ago. But I seem to recall there was a kid with shingles. We got a letter and saying a child had shingles. Maybe I'm remembering that incorrect, but it looks like with COVID, if you've had COVID, you have an increased risk of developing shingles. That is not good. That story coming from Dennis, the COVID guy, he tweeted out that just the other day. In Australia, this is not good. Australia, urgent warning issued as new COVID wave hits Western Australia. Cases of the Omicron subvariants. Remember, all the subvariants we're seeing right now still do fall from the family tree of Omicron subvariants. Well, apparently they have skyrocketed in Western Australia in recent weeks with an average 75 infected patients admitted to the hospital daily. That's not good. Moving on now to this. Yes, we have more news stories. The governor of Vermont, Governor Phil Scott, has tested positive for COVID-19 and cancels his public appearances. This is something I just found out about today. It happened on Monday, and I did get to archiving this. Believe it or not, I already archived it over on my site, but I still do have some past ones that I did not archive. Of course, it'll never be a full and complete archive. We have all the early years of COVID that got missed, and eventually I do want to try and get that in there. Will I ever have time? I honestly don't know. All right, I believe this is in Ireland. More than 600 people hospitalized with COVID, flu, and RSV, says HSE. Almost 2,000 cases of 3 illnesses notified, and emergency departments have seen significant increases in presentations of these viruses. So, yeah, this is not going well. continuing on now to this. Hospital ward visiting suspended due to norovirus. This is in the UK, if I remember correctly. Visiting wards have been suspended due to a significant increase in norovirus cases. And I can tell you this, we're going to take a look at norovirus here in the United States today. When we take a look at wastewater, I'm going to show you the map on wastewater scan. Norovirus here in the United States is going really bad, and apparently the UK as well. Because remember, sometimes what happens there, we follow that here. Number of suspected norovirus cases, this is also in the UK, number of suspected norovirus cases more than double the 5-year average. UK Health Security Agency figures also show 105 suspected norovirus outbreaks have been reported this year. 27.4% higher than the 5-season average of 82 suspected outbreaks. That's really bad. That's just not good whatsoever. We will get a full update on the UK COVID situation tomorrow. Here's their dashboard. All right, moving on now to the data portion of our update. That was a lot of news, wasn't it? Taking a look at what is going on here with the air qualities in the United States. And without looking, I can tell you it's probably going to come up bad here in these. Yeah, just stepping outside. Just a really bad smell in the air here today. It smells like burning rubber. I don't know what that's all about, but it's showing up here on the air qualities that the Mid-Atlantic region, portions of the Northeast, Ohio is having bad air qualities today, and then California continues to have an air quality problem as well. Want to learn more about climate and weather? I do have another place where I talk about that, climate data report. Not sure I'm getting a video out there today because I'm going to be pretty busy later on. I need to make a thread for everything we just talked about. I got some things to do later on. So probably the next video for that will either be tomorrow or Friday at the latest. I'm turning them back to maybe 3 to 4 videos a week on that channel. Just for now, because this channel needs my attention. As you see, things are going really bad right now for these viruses. All right, taking a look at Philadelphia yesterday. On Tuesday, they had 834 EMS incidents. Let's see what's going on with the ambulance situation in the surrounding counties outside of Philadelphia right now. And we see here, whoa, a lot of vehicle accidents. That's terrible. 12 EMS incidents in Montgomery County. We do see stroke is listed in Norristown. Respiratory emergency a few times. Not surprised with that. Virus is increasing and bad air quality. Chester County, Pennsylvania. We see abdominal pain, sick person, heart problems, respiratory difficulty again, sick person again, heart problems again, and EMS standby. Sometimes it's not the amount of calls, but the type of calls, and this would signal that yes, people are getting sick right now. Let's see what's going on with the hospital situation in Pennsylvania, and we do see here things are going about the same. There are still some hospitals that are dealing with capacity issues. That will get worse probably in the weeks following the holidays. We'll see a rush of people that need to use the hospital for many different reasons. Fulton County Medical Center, they're having something with stroke issues. No CAT scan, it looks like. No CT scanner. Okay. Taking a look at what's going on in New Jersey, and we do see here JFK University Medical Center, patient volume, emergency department, Mullica Hill, look at that, full total patient volume. Here's another one, RWJ University Hospital, patient volume, once again, 4-hour divert from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that just started about an hour ago. So it does look like things are picking up in New Jersey, but again, there are still a lot of hospitals that are also listed in the green that are not having problems. Pennsylvania dashboard for COVID wastewater, that will update again tomorrow. Taking a look at what's going on with the viral activity levels in Canada, COVID-19 is moderate, flu A is moderate, flu B is low, and RSV is listed at high at this time. All right, taking a look at Walgreens, the national positivity rate is 15.2% for COVID. Testing did go up, 5,399. I suspect it probably will increase through about the end of the year, and then early next year it'll drop. I think that's what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe it will drop next week. I honestly don't know, but 5,399 people got tested. Let's take a look at a few states, shall we? First off, Delaware, the positivity trend the rate for COVID is 30.4%. The prior week was 25%. Difference of up 5.4%. Total test 23 versus 16. Arkansas, 14.6% positivity rate. The prior week is 7.1%. That's up by 7.4%. 48 tests versus 42. New Mexico, 39.1% positivity rate. Last week was 39.4. That's down by 0.3%. Total test, 46 versus 71. Testing went down. Positivity rate dropped. That's not a bad thing. Arizona positivity rate is 19%. The prior week was 21.3%. That's a difference of down 2.3%. Total test, 242 versus 258. Nebraska, 26.9% positivity rate. The prior week was 16%. That's a difference of up 10.9% with just one test more. You don't do a lot of testing to begin with. 26 versus 25. Let's go up to... No, we can't click on Vermont. Can we click on Connecticut? Yes, we can. And in the state of Connecticut, there we go. 21.4% positivity rate. The prior week was 20%. Difference of up 1.4%. Total test, 42 versus 50. And I do want to end on a good note, so we'll do that in Utah. The positivity rate is 10.9%. The prior week was 20.5%. Difference of down 9.6%. Total test, 46 versus 39. And let's see here. Can we take a look at the Walgreens flu map? And we can here. And on the flu map, we do see, can we click on some of these positivity rates? Flu A and B in Texas is 3.64%. It looks like California is 3.69%. National flu positivity rate is 2.5%. What's going on up in Maine? Wow. Maine's flu positivity rate is 4.55%. Again, not a lot of testing here done with flu. Nationally, 5,476. And we can see here, the positivity rate for flu is rising. How about Washington? That looks pretty high. Oh my. Now see, you're not getting hit hard with COVID in Washington State right now. You are with flu. And that positivity rate is 5.66%. Alabama, 5.14%. South Carolina looks pretty bad. Yeah, 5.49%. And can we click on Puerto Rico? No, we cannot. Alrighty, moving on because we have a lot more things I want to take a look at. And first off, let's go nationwide here on wastewater. And I want to show you norovirus. I promised I would show you this. Here it is. Every region of the United States, the West Coast, the Midwest, the Northeast, the Southeast, all listed at high levels of norovirus at this time. Yet norovirus is not going well. Even Hawaii and Alaska are coming in with high norovirus levels. In fact, let's go to Anchorage, Alaska, and see what is going on with their virus levels there. We have not done this in a really long time. I regret that, and we need to do it. And COVID here is listed at medium. RSV has been really, wow, RSV is listed at high. It is going up. COVID is not going up. Influenza A, yikes, that is really high right now. Influenza B is low. HMPV is still listed at low, but it is rising at this time. Norovirus, maybe it's finally peaking, but that is also listed high at this time. All right, going back to nationwide map for a second, because I want to get over to Hawaii, and let's see what is going on in Honolulu at this time. And over in Hawaii, we can see here COVID. Now, they got hit really hard in the summertime, so we should not expect to see a big rise there. If we do, something's wrong. It means there could be a new variant of some sort. RSV is listed high at this time. Influenza A is high. Influenza B is low. HMPV is low. Norovirus is a problem there as well. It is really high at this time and still rising. Hepatitis A, there were some detections back in October. Now going back to the lower 48, I do want to click on a couple wastewater sites here. Let's go down to Harrison, Arkansas, because they always have a problem with norovirus. I want to know what's going on there. COVID was rapidly rising. Does look like that is starting to drop now. Still listed at really high. RSV is low. Influenza A is low. Influenza B is low. Norovirus, wow, extremely high. Wonky movement showing a drop, but over 300,000 pathogens. That is ridiculous. HMPV is really low at this time. Hepatitis A is also low at this time. Let's do one more wastewater site. How about we go to Boise, Idaho, and see what's going on there. This looks like Lander Street. Hope I'm saying that correctly. COVID is listed high here, despite the West Coast not being high for COVID yet, and it is still rising despite that wonky movement. RSV is low. Influenza A is rising. Influenza B is low. HMPV is going up. Norovirus is, wow, extremely high at this wastewater facility. Mpox is low. And everything else looks to be fine at this time. We'll look at some more wastewater sites tomorrow. Someone gave me a good suggestion. Maybe we should do like the capitals of the state. Great idea. Not every state has their capital listed for wastewater. I mean, we could use CDC data, but again, you can't do the multiple viruses. Taking a look at what's going on in New York State, 534 new cases added in New York State. Again, I'm not expecting a huge wave at the holidays in New York State. Could it be maybe their wave takes a little bit longer to go up and then come down? Maybe, but New York State got hit pretty hard in the summertime. The places that did not get hit hard in the summertime, which Midwest, they had a wave, they just did not have a massive wave. That's where I think things are going to get the worst. New York State, hospitalizations, 534 and 71 people in the ICU, and believe it or not, there's going to be a wild card with New York State. Will they even get to 1,000 hospitalizations during this wave? They could, but it would not shock me if they don't. It really wouldn't, because we'll just have to see what happens. Only time will tell. Alrighty, I do have a couple things in notes today, and you can see here. First off, something I added to the notes here. If you are positive for COVID now, chances are you will have to miss Christmas and the holiday gatherings. And I said yesterday, I'm going to say this for every day through Christmas. Every day that I do an update, I'm going to say this. Think about this. If you test positive now, that's not enough time for you to recover, and you could still be infectious on Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. Well, New Year's will probably more so next week, but right now, Christmas and Christmas Eve. I know if you're doing a Christmas Eve gathering, a lot of people are. I'm going to raise my hand. I'm admitting it. We got invited to some relatives nearby, about half hour away, and if you test positive, you're just gonna have to skip those little small gatherings. I'm sorry. You're going to have to, because you could infect everyone else there, and someone could be high risk. It's just not worth it. All right, now for some data from CJS A3172. Florida's daily cases. This is daily now. Some of these are weekday. This one is daily. 522 new cases added. New Jersey, weekday. 433 new cases and 2 new deaths added. New York, daily. 511 new cases. Puerto Rico, 165 new cases and 1 new death. Maryland, weekly number. 670 new cases and 13 new deaths. Maine, weekly, 424 new cases and 2 new deaths. Michigan, weekly, 2,436 new cases and 22 new deaths, one of which was from, believe it or not, he says, May of 2020, over 4.5 years ago. Virginia, weekly, 2,398 new positive tests and 19 new deaths reported by the CDC data tracker just last Friday. Thank you, CJS 83172, as always, for your data. I really enjoy including that in these updates. All right, that does it for today's virus update. We went over a ton of things, with really the big story today being bird flu. And before we end this update today, I just got to give my take of where do we stand with bird flu. Right now, I think we're in a really bad period. As noted earlier, the holidays are coming up, and we're having these mysterious cases like Delaware. There may be more that pop up. Cases that majority of them are being linked to, poultry and whatnot, but we're finding a few mysterious cases that are not linked. That is bad. That means there are more cases out there. They have to be getting infected by someone. And I get it, Delaware is still a probable case, but I think we are coming close to a turning point where H5N1 goes to the next level. We now have confirmed severe case in Louisiana. That's not good. If previous history tells us anything, such as COVID, or even just not long ago, the case where the child was hospitalized up in Canada. He was hospitalized for a long period of time. If we start getting a ton of people hospitalized for a long period of time, we will quickly run into a healthcare capacity issue, especially now that all these different viruses, norovirus, COVID, flu, RSV, are all going upward, and the hospitals are seeing an increased strain. We do not need an increased strain from H5N1. We really need to learn from our mistakes from the COVID pandemic, and we need to get a handle on this virus really quick before it becomes too late. We need to do increased testing. We need to um, take precautions, do whatever we can to contain this before it is too late. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. It is getting close to that point where it is becoming too late. We're starting to pencil in more states with human cases. That is not good. And I know we are about to head into another presidential administration. And I know people from that administration are not going to see this video. But if by any chance you do, if this just blows up today and just takes off in the algorithm, please do the right thing and get a handle on this now before it's too late. We already have COVID on top of everything else. We do not need H5N1 pandemic in the United States or around the world. There are too many people sick right now, and we do not need more people going around getting sick. It is ridiculous, and we need to do something about this. Alrighty, that's my rant for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you're new. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know, and leave your comments down below. I will hopefully see you again tomorrow if I have time. I'm sure it'll probably be another busy news day. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone, and have a fantastic Wednesday evening. Thank you for watching this video. Enjoy your evening.